Look here for some excellent information on using credit cards by howtogrowcredit.com. While you watch this video, please consider subscribing. If you like this content, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and feel free to comment down below with any questions. We would love to hear from you. Also, when the video ends, make sure to check out the rest of the content on this channel and our website howtogrowcredit.com. Both with new content added daily. Charge cards are usually associated with high interest rates and bad. However, when credit is used responsibly, it offers peace of mind, rewards and even peace of mind. Watch on to learn how to properly utilize bank cards. You may want to consider keeping a couple of credit card accounts open at any given time. This will help you build one's credit score, particularly if you pay your bill in full. However, if there are more than 3 cards to your name, a lender may think that's no good when looking at your credit bureau report. Lots of credit cards give large bonuses simply for signing up. Set a budget when it comes to your credit cards. You should already be budgeting your income, so just include your credit cards in your existing budget. Never view your credit cards in the wrong way, such as viewing them as some extra spending money. Determine how much you can spend monthly on credit cards. Stick to that budget and pay it in full every month. Credit card companies set minimum payments to make as much money from you as they can collect more interest on your balance over time. Always pay as much as possible over the minimum amount required. Avoid paying interest as much as possible in the long term. Make sure to completely understand your credit card terms before signing up with one. In particular, it is crucial to look for fees and raters that occur after introductory periods. Pay very close attention to the terms to make sure you completely understand the card policy. Don't use an easy-to-guess password for your cards that can be simply figured out by someone else. Using something like your initials, middle name or your child's name can be problematic, as it is not difficult for others to find out that information. One way to cut down on monthly payments is to ask for a lower interest rate from the companies that have extended credit to you. If you have a significant history with a credit card company and have paid your payments promptly, they may be willing to offer you a lower rate. A phone call might be all that is necessary to get a better rate and to save you a lot of money. Be vigilant when looking over any changes made to the terms and conditions. It is not uncommon for issuers to change credit terms and conditions with relative frequency. Make certain you read everything so you know what to expect as far as rates and fees are concerned. No matter how tempting, never loan anyone your credit card. Even though a good friend might have a need, it is never a good decision to lend it to anyone. This can lead to overcharges and unauthorized spending. Never leave blank on your credit card receipt when you sign retail store receipts. Always cross out the tipping line, so you don't get charged extra. Make sure your statements match the charges you have made. Avoid closing accounts. Although it could seem like a smart thing to do for improving your credit score, closing accounts could harm your score. The fewer accounts you have open, the less total credit you have available, which means you will owe more as a proportion of your credit limit. Do not buy anything with your credit card purchases on public computers. Only make purchases from your personal computer. When looking for a secured card, you should avoid prepaid cards. These are considered debit cards, so they don't report to any of the credit bureaus. Most of them charge you with extra fees, and they only function as another checking account. Place a deposit, and try to get a secured card that will help you improve your credit. Credit card. Once you acquire a credit card, you should work to keep it active for the longest period possible. Unless necessary, you don't want to switch accounts around. The total amount of time you have had credit available to you is a factor in your credit score. Keeping accounts open for as long as possible will help build credit. Never give in to the temptation to allow anyone to borrow your credit card to a family member or friend. It could be your close friend, but it is never a good idea to give your credit card to anyone. It can lead to over-limit charges if your friend spends more on the card than you had authorized them to. If you have balances on credit cards that are more than you can afford to pay off, you are at risk of doing damage to your credit rating. Damaging your credit can make it difficult to get insurance, finance a car, rent an apartment, or even get a job. If, after you have talked with their retention team, they won't do this, start looking elsewhere for a better rate. After you find one, open an account with them and transfer your balance over to it. Don't get high-limit credit cards by lying about your income. Many companies don't check your actual income, so your limit may be way too high. These cards require a balance as collateral. In other words, you are borrowing your own money and paying interest for the privilege. This is not an ideal situation, however, but it might be the best method for fixing your credit. Just remember that you still need to ensure the company you're dealing with a reputable company. They might offer you a card that is unsecured, which is even better. After you have demonstrated that you can wisely handle a credit card that is secured, you may find the company will allow you to change it to an unsecured card. Credit card offers will probably start arriving in your mail again when you reach this point. At this time you can begin making more credit decisions. Compare your statements to make sure they match up. Stay away from cards that have annual fees. Credit cards that don't have annual fees are usually reserved for individuals that have good credit scores. Annual fees can negate any advantages the card has. Think about this carefully and do the calculations. Credit cards don't tout annual fees, as they're regularly found in the small fine print. Put your reading glasses on. If the fees and APR are ridiculously high, do not use the card unless you encounter an emergency. Often, they do not. This can lead to you spending too much money when you see an artificially low balance. Go through all your credit cards and see if there aren't any old accounts you'd be willing to close. If you have a lot of accounts open, it is easier to be a victim of fraud. You may also close accounts you just don't want anymore, even if they have a balance. When an account is closed, you can keep making payments towards the balance until it's paid off. Never send a fax with your credit card information through a fax machine. A fax can be left there for a long time while anyone can get the card number. Any one of the workers in the office could unknowingly be a thief. This opens you up to the fraudulent activity and a whole host of the problems that come with it. Report a missing card immediately to your credit card company. If your card is charged before it's reported missing, you may need to pay. Once you report a card as missing, you cannot be held liable for any charges that are made to that card. You are always free to ask your credit card company to obtain a lower rate. To avoid losing the use of a credit card, make sure you use it every once in a while. If you don't use the card, it may be too unprofitable for the card company to maintain the account, and they may quickly shut it down. So, be sure to use it for purchases where you have the money on hand so that you can pay it off right away. Always examine the small print before applying for any secured charge cards. All credit cards have spending limits attached. Make sure to pay attention to that limit, and never exceed it. You will not have your credit card to fall back on if it is maxed out. Read all of the fine print. There could be numerous blackout dates and other restrictions that make the rewards impossible for you to use. Companies also make these restrictions hard to understand deliberately. The secret is that they do not want you to make use of their rewards. They use rewards as a hook to get you to apply for their card. Never let yourself fall victim to a late payment. Most credit card companies charge late fees if you don't do this. This fee may be along the lines of $25 just for one missed day on your payment. If you are having trouble paying a lot of payments, you may experience higher fees. Keep tabs on your credit report to make sure you are not getting yourself into any trouble. This also helps you see how everyone else is handling your credit accounts. Be sure to take note of any errors when you see them. If you find any, contact your creditor as well as the credit bureau. If your primary motivation for acquiring a new credit card is its rewards or cashback program, you need to make an effort to learn all of the rules and regulations that govern the card's programs before you sign up. Read to see whether the rewards have a date of expiration, and determine whether you can use them before expiration. Making exceptionally large purchases and international traveling are examples of situations where giving advance notice. This could keep your credit card company from blocking transactions due to suspected identity theft. Go over your monthly bill very carefully. Look for incorrect or unfamiliar transactions, and make sure any credits you have been expecting have been properly applied to your account. Credit card companies will correct errors if you contact them before paying your bill. You need cards from different banks to keep your financial flexibility. If you have trouble using one card, having one from a similar bank will not help you. Having access to cards makes it easier to make use of your credit. Allow the terms of your credit card to help you determine how you are going to use it. If you have more than one card, compare the terms to decide which to use daily and which one to reserve for unexpected expenses or travel. When used responsibly, charge cards have some great perks. Having the assurance of having the financial flexibility to the benefit of receiving various rewards and perks, credit cards that you have could make your life better. Use your bank cards carefully for a more positive financial future. If you make your payments on time, but feel your interest rate is too high, talk to your credit card company to negotiate. Try asking for a lower rate. Many times, they just want to keep you as a consumer, so they will comply. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to check out the rest of the content on this channel and our website howtogrowcredit.com. Both with new content added daily. Also, check out our recommended credit repair system with the link in the description. Remember to like, comment, subscribe and share. Not only does it help us make new content for you, but also tells YouTube to share this content with others. How to grow credit. Steps to grow your credit score.